As you may or may not know, I'm a big advocator of the cheek, back of the tongue or throat, and then nasal swabbing for our current COVID rapid antigen testing. Donut and I have been hearing that people are considering this a hack and that it doesn't work, citing this Mayo Clinic expert, that guy right there. So first, the date is from a long time ago. That was back in very early 2022. So when they say that they don't have the data to support that a throat swab is better than a nasal swab, we need to continue performing these tests exactly as the manufacturer instructions call for. That's no longer true. We have the data. And people shouldn't be drinking coffee or soda or anything or eating food before taking one of these rapid antigen tests, if you weren't aware. So this should not be a problem whatsoever. Now, this is an Ontario-led study that I've shown before, and this is a newer study that I recently found that I'm going to review at a later date, but I've read through briefly. And in both studies, we see a marked improvement in doing throat and nasal swabbing versus just nasal swabbing alone in terms of self-administered sensitivity, the ability to detect the positive test for a true positive, where in the Ontario study, it increased by about 15%. And in this newer study, they have people that aren't trained healthcare workers and then healthcare workers doing the throat and nasal swabbing. And they actually found that for healthcare workers, the throat swabbing is actually more sensitive. But for either people doing it at home or healthcare workers doing a combined throat and nose swabbing produced markedly higher levels of sensitivity, providing very clear evidence that doing a throat and nasal swab is the way to go. And this can be for two reasons. One, you're doing more sampling of the cheek, back of the tongue, or throat, and the nostrils, so you're more likely to pick up virus. And then second, different variants are differently expressed in different areas. So you could have a variant that's more expressed in the throat than it is in the nasal passageway or vice versa. But either way, this is how we should be doing our tests.